What's going on, guys? I got an epic video for you all today. Another beautiful day out here in Colorado. Hope you enjoy the footage here. We find ourselves playing at Bally's 1-3 match, the stack game once again. Today, the game was actually really good with a mix of some super deep stacks and some medium to short sizes, so it made for some interesting gameplay. There was some good action and some cool people at my table, so really can't complain. Straddle was on a little bit, wasn't on all the time, so the last few weeks I've been on a pretty epic downswing, so I'll probably get more into that in the outro. But, if you guys haven't already, please like and subscribe. It really means a lot to me, motivates me to keep going, helps the channel out. But in the meantime, I guess just enjoy the hands. Let me know what you guys think. Okay, so jumping in the first hand, I've already been playing and trying to film hands for about 3 hours at this point and haven't had any interesting hands. I've gotten some good starting hands, raised pre-flop, completely missed, so definitely losing a little bit at this point. So when I look down at some suited connectors, 6-7 suited, they look pretty good to me. Action starts with an early position player raising it up small to $10. One guy calls, and I think it's time to make a 3-bet here, so I bump it up to $40. The button has other ideas because he decides to 4-bet me up to 85, basically a min click, so not super worried about it. Folds back around to me, and I'd probably consider folding this hand if he made it like 3x or more. But since it's not too much more, I make the call out of position, and with $194 in the middle, we see a flop that comes pretty sweet for me. Jack 8-9 rainbow. So I flop open-ended. Can't really ask for much better than that. I checked the 4-better and he bets $50, about 1/4 pot. I have a short stack at this point. I'm about 150 behind, so I just put it all in. I jam because I'm out of position and I really just want to see the next 2 cards. All in.
Better here than other places, but yes.
This flop is way better for my range. And if he had ace queen, ace king, king queen, anything like that, I probably could just win the pot right here. The villain decides to snap call and shows ace ace. So I'm definitely behind, but I have about 35% equity, and none of that really matters when the turn comes a bink 10. So now I have the low end of the straight, and I just need to fade a chop. The river is clean, and I crack pocket aces, the piss missiles, for this $494 pot to start the night off correctly. Okay, so about an hour later from that last hand, I look down at the nasty Jack 9 offsuit. I start filming pretty late in this hand, so I'll catch you guys up on the action. Action starts with the middle position player, making it $15 to go. It calls around to me, and I make the overcall here on the button. These ultra multi-way pots are actually so funny, and they seem to be happening all the time at 1-3 games, and they're definitely not the easiest to navigate. So going 5 ways to a flop, the flop comes the 8 of diamonds, the 10 of clubs, and the 3 of hearts. So again, I find myself open-ended here. An early position player actually donks out for $25. This is an extremely strong donk into 4 other people, but when it comes back around to me, I want to play this draw as aggressively as I can, so I raise it up to $75. And surprisingly, the big blind cold calls, and so does the donker. Definitely a weird hand already, and we're going 3 ways to a turn with a good amount in the middle, $300, and we see the bink 7 of diamonds. So again, I drilled a straight, but this time I have the nuts. Surprisingly, the big blind now leads out for $125. Then the middle position jams all in for about 300-ish. All of this action happens about 5 seconds, so it's really quick. I take a second to think because I'm a little bit confused on what these people could be having here, but I'm obviously loving this spot, and I don't want to let a flush draw bink me on the river, so I have no other choice but to just get the money in here. I just rejam over the top of the other player. And more surprisingly, the big blind who let out initially just snap folds, which kind of sucks. I was kind of rooting for a call here because I really wanted to triple up. I instantly flip my hand over, and middle position shows the same hand, Jack 9 offsuit. So we're going to have to chop this $1,025 pot up. But the river comes a diamond, and the big blind ends up saying he had a flush draw on the turn. So thankfully we got him out of the pot because he would have binked the river, and that would have really sucked for both of us. So for this next one, I look down at a welcomed sight, the absolute piss missiles, and I raise it up to $12 in early position, and we get 4 callers, which I kind of hate to see with this hand, but also it is to be expected at this table. The flop comes 2 Jack 10 rainbow, so seemingly safe flop. So when it checks to me, I bet again for $25. I think I probably should have gone a little bit bigger here because literally nobody folds. Pot's now $185, and the turn is a 2, which is a fantastic card for me. I'm now beating random 2-pair hands. And so when it checks around to me again, I bet 50. A little bit on the smaller side again, about 1/4 pot, but I think I should be betting small here in general because in multi-way pots, there's extra pressure and incentive for people to fold because of the other people still in the pot. I guess I like my sizing. I'm actually not 100% sure here. But this time, either way, 2 people make the fold. So now we are just going 3 ways to the river with $335 in the middle. It comes a king. Seems fine to me, so I bet out again for 1/4 on the smaller side for value, about $75. One guy folds, and then the other player left starts saying he thinks I missed a draw. So now I'm just begging for him to call. After thinking a while, he puts the money in, and I show him the goods, the piss missiles, and I'm good. And I win this $485 pot. I definitely think I should be betting a little bit bigger here on the river, but it's also possible that he called this extremely light here with like ace high or bottom pair because of my sizing. So overall, not 100% sure, but I like the result. This one starts off with a $6 straddle under the gun, and I look down at ace jack offsuit. I raise it up to $18 in the cutoff, and it folds to the small blind, who 3-bets me up to 36. Again, another min-click sizing from the same guy who min-clicked me last time. When it folds back to me, I don't think there's much I can do here besides call in position. Flop comes pretty good for me. It's the jack of diamonds, the ace of clubs, and the 7 of diamonds, so a casual top 2 here. The 3-better then leads out for half pot sizing or $40. Action's on me, and I decide to min-click myself. I raise it up to $80, mainly because I'm probably ahead and I want to start building a pot, but also because I think it's kind of funny. With about $230 in the pot, the turn comes the queen of clubs, bringing in 2 flush draws. I don't really like this card because it brings in the Broadway draw, and also ace queen is a very possible hand my opponent could have. He checks to me, and I decide to show some weakness and check back. Probably getting a little trappy here, hoping I can induce some bluffs on the river, but also exercising some pot control because last time I got min-clicked 4-betted by this guy, he had aces. River comes the 3 of hearts, a complete brick, and when he checks to me again, I definitely have the best hand here, so I want to get some value, get some more money in the middle. I bet out for $75, hoping he would call me with any pair that he has, but he thinks better of it and decides to fold. I think checking back the turn here definitely left some value on the table. Maybe he would have called, maybe he would have folded, not sure. Either way, still nice to have this pot pushed my way. This hand is actually pretty funny. I look down at ace 9 of clubs, not a bad looking hand in my book. Action starts with me raising an early position over a $7 straddle. I make it $21 to go, and again, I get 4 callers. Pretty insane table here, calling anything. Pot is already about $105 at this point, and the flop comes 7 deuce 4 rainbow with 1 club. I decide to check this one because c-bet bluffing in multi-way pots is not always advisable, and I seem to do that way too much, and it's a classic way I punt. To my surprise, it ends up checking all the way through, so I get to see a free turn card. The turn is a 4 of clubs, pairing the board, but also giving me the nut flush draw. I check again here, still sitting with ace high, but this time middle position player bets out small for $22. 2 people make the call, and with absolutely massive pot odds here to hit my flush, I make the call as well. River is a complete brick for me. It's the jack of diamonds, so I miss. Still sitting here with ace high. I check. Checks through once again, though, and there's no way I'm going to be good here, right? So no one wants to turn their hand over. I announce ace high. I look both the other players now. I'm like, I have ace high. Nobody turns over their cards, so I just table my hand, and somehow I end up winning this multi-way pot with ace high. Super hyped to win this $193 pot with absolute garbage. Okay, so for the last hand of the night, I look down at jack 10 of hearts in middle position, so I raise it up to $12, and only the button and the big blind make the call. The flop comes the ace of hearts, the king of diamonds, and the 3 of clubs, so I pretty much whiff this one besides a gutter. So we check it to the button, and he bets out for $15. I mean, with a gutter and a backdoor heart draw, I think I can stick around for just one more, but the big blind folds. I make the call with $66 in the middle. The turn is an interesting one for me. It's a jack. So now I have a pair and a gutter, so it seems like a dangerous card for me to lose a lot of money, especially when I check and the button decides to keep the pressure up. He bets $45 now. 2/3 pot size bet just about, showing a lot of strength. I'm putting him on an ace, so if I hit a jack, 10, or queen, I think I could win a lot of the time and win a lot when I do. In hindsight, I'm definitely not getting the right price. I definitely should have folded here, but in the moment, I was extremely sticky and decided to make the call. The river is a brick for me. I check one more time, and the villain bets $75. There's nothing to do but make the snap fold here. Unfortunately, I lose this one. I definitely punted on that turn call, and I lose a $156 pot. And oh yeah, the villain said he would only show if I put this hand in the vlog. I agree. He shows 3-3 for a flop set, and I was in way worse shape than I thought I was. So glad I didn't lose more. What is up, guys? I hope you enjoyed that video. I was in for 400, out for $11.98 for a profit of $798. Not too shabby. That's actually the first session I've won in the past 2 weeks, so it's been a rough couple days for me playing poker. I think I've played 8 sessions, and this is the first time I've cashed for a profit. So it's been kind of brutal, but I guess that's what happens. I've been on kind of a heater the last few months. And on the topic of winning and losing, I don't really pick which sessions that I film. I film once a week, once every other week. And if it's a winner, I'll show it. If it's a loser, I'll show it. For some reason, I've just gotten really lucky with the camera out, and I just always seem to be filming winners, except for like maybe one video. Just want to let you guys know, I'm not filming losers and then not showing them for any reason. It's just the way it's happening, and eventually I will be filming some losing sessions. I just wanted to make it very clear I'm not cherry picking the sessions. It's just how it's coming along, and I definitely lose a ton off camera. So trust me on that. Okay, but yeah. Overall, it was a good session, and as always, I appreciate you guys. Like, comment, subscribe. We're almost at 600 subscribers, which is huge, and I have some cool ideas if we get to 1,000 subscribers. So yeah, hopefully that happens soon. But yeah, as always, I appreciate you guys. Have a good day.